DPG brought up Chris Mueller last week. He was like, "Man,
Oh,
we
yes.
need to, if Greg if he's not in Greg's, plans, just move." And it was like, well, if it's personal, like take your time. And then literally as soon as we talk about him for the first time in months, even utter his name, of course, the next day he comes out with the video telling us what's been going on.
He's got cancer.
Which unfortunately, no, he doesn't have cancer. He has
pericarditis.
Yes, pericarditis, which is a heart issue where things are swollen
It's
around your
inflamed
heart.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
by the way, shout out to Chris Mueller. Speedy recovery.
How does one get pericarditis?
That's. I mean, I'm gonna say something very uneducated, but we are seeing some heart problems with some world famous athletes, and they don't seem to all be doing coke like they used to in the 80s. So
how do we know?
What I feel like is, so what I think is kind of happening is we're pushing the body to its limits, and certain bodies are like his spirit is willing. Chris Mueller is willing to run faster than any other human. It's just some people's bodies aren't holding up. Like I said, that's at least what it feels like, because back in the 80s we were seeing guys go down, but that was very different situation. So
you're talking about the chain smokers, the tobacco chewing, the beer drinkers in the clubhouse, and of course the illicit illegal drug users.
For sure. And I don't know, but like Chris Mueller, you saw him, there was a fan who took a picture with him not too long ago, and he looked great. He looked completely still in shape. He was out running, I think. And he was like, before you ask, I didn't even ask him. I just told him I hope he was doing well, and
he was
which
out
is cool.
Running. That's cardio.
Well, I mean, I think he was out running.
He's probably on the mend. He's on his way to recovery. So
I hope so.
Yeah, well, he's a world-class athlete, and even with a heart condition, you don't want to instantly become sedentary.
Yeah. But I'm assuming that, Chicago Fire being owned by, Joe Mansueto probably has access to some leading health experts around the country.
He's a financial expert, not a medical doctor.
What I'm saying that he has got pockets,
the monies, and also Chicago medicine's very good. There are some great areas of Chicago medicine.
You see what happens when these things get real serious. They go beyond the team doctors to the leading specialists.
And you better believe that they've taken this to wherever they needed to go to take care of Chris Mueller.
He's probably seeing a specialist, but which is all good news, because you always want leading experts to lead, the charge and recovery. And I'm hoping that Chris Mueller, recovers 100%. I will love to see him again on a Fire jersey, because I honestly think he could be a huge asset to this club now.
Yeah, especially coming off the bench. Like, he could be a big help to this club if he were healthy. And, to be fair, when he first came to the team, he was rocking and rolling, and then he kind of started falling off, and we were like, wow, he's not playing well.
So he fell off a year and a half ago, guys.
Yeah,
if I'm running this team like a business, I'm sorry, you're cut, and good luck with USL and working your way back, and we will keep a line out for you should you work your way back. They did it with the best sports players in the world. You are producing, and there's no way for us to send you down, because like you are just too good of a player for that in a way. It's time for you to go prove yourself somewhere else. And if you can get back to where you are, well, we got a line out for you, and we're happy to help. And don't forget that we were in your corner to help you along this entire way, even when you weren't
along the entire way. You're telling him to get the fuck out
at the end of the season.
No, you dude. Okay, he got put on the IR. You got to pay this guy. Like, you cannot cut somebody. Like, because he's an athlete.
That's what I hate about the NFL is cutting for medical purposes. So yes, I totally agree. The team should be on the hook.
Yeah, because then immediately he doesn't have insurance.
I mean,
the team should be on the hook for him. Absolutely.
Keep in mind that this is a contract year for him. So this is the last year of his contract.
No, was it? Oh,
there's no reason.
Whether or not the Fire are gonna, renew or work out a deal with him.
Why
I
would
hope
you
they
waste
do.
the roster spot on a guy who's not available for 2 years in a row? What is the best ability? Availability.
I
No, but I'm
still
saying,
think
like,
if depending on
if
how he comes back from this, and if like
he's-
this is still an if,
Right? Like the
Dude,
guy from
if
Man
he's still
United who had the
recovering,
heart
if he's
attack.
still not, if he's still on an IR and everything, obviously the Fire probably not gonna re-sign him. They're probably just gonna take care of his medical stuff,
Which that would be incredible of them to do and also right.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. It's a very mixed bag. We don't know what's gonna happen. We have no idea, how this is gonna turn out.
What's
Who
the
knows?
mixed
He might
bag?
recover next.
Tell me what's the mixed bag about it,
here's
because
the mixed bag.
to me the mixed bag is you have a player who's on the middling end of he's in the middling edge of the roster. He has not been a proven starter for years,
But
he's,
we were
he's
saying
not
the same
going to
thing.
be for a while.
We were saying the same thing on on Mauricio Pineda. We were saying the same thing on Sergio Overhell. We were saying the same things of a lot of guys
True.
that are on this roster from last year.
True.
Like these, we got to get rid of them.
We did.
But look what's
we
going
called
on.
that on Victor Orahel. We're like,
And look, Sergio. Look at it now. Like Sergio Overhell has become like he's like done a 180. Like this man has.
He's I keep calling him. He's the secret sauce, man. He's the secret sauce to this thing.
a little bit of mayo,
And
a
then
little bit of
Pineda-
ketchup, a little bit of mustard.
And then Pineda. And by the way, I think I saw his family on Saturday because they all had Pineda jerseys and they all kind of look alike. But Pineda, same thing. I thought Pineda was going to be done. Like that's it. We're gonna either cut him loose. Now it's like, man, he's actually a solid defensive midfielder.
He's been playing starter
This is
minutes.
what I would say about. This is what I'll say about Mueller. It kind of sucks because let's be honest. I would like to re-sign him, but he's got to get re-signed for a much lower. But
yes,
but
he needs
now,
to prove that he's.
Well, no, hold on. Even if he let's just say this was a knee injury, okay? That's the problem. By the end of his contract, he was already going to need to take a price cut. But now, not only is it going to look bad because you're like, oh, now you're hurt, you take a price cut, but also it might hurt his feelings pretty bad, which means he wouldn't want to sign. So
you don't want to burn.
It's a tough situation because in a perfect world, you would sign. In a perfect world, you sign him to a cheaper deal.
Yes,
and he's an American, an MLS veteran, and he can have bright games.
For the U.S. Open Cup. At this point, for me, I'm looking at him as a U.S. Open Cup player because dude has not played MLS minutes in 1.5 years.
Here's the thing. I want to see if he played last year.
When
he wasn't all.
When
he played last year,
during the beginning of last year, yeah.
The beginning.
He played a lot in the beginning.
You mean in February and March of 2024?
He was a regular for. Look at his stats. I mean, I'm
pulling it up, but I don't think he was.
I feel like he played a lot to start the season and it fell off.
27
he played 27 games
That's
last year.
Way more significant than I thought. More significant than I thought.
Yeah, he started
the 2023 season is what I had in my head. 10 games played in 2023.
Well, that was the knee injury, right?
That was the injury, yeah. But here's the thing: I would have liked to see him, play under Greg, because if Greg, made Pineda and Orahel miracles, I mean, he probably could do the same thing with Mueller.
I hope to see him back on a cheaper number, and hopefully he recovers and is able to continue his career. Just very much
What does the guy do? What
is
the guy
fast?
What is the guy good at? Does he score goals?
He's fast. He gets chalk on his boots, and he's able to cross the ball in.
He's scored 5 points total, 2 goals in the last 2 years, 3 assists in the last 2 years. I'm sorry, dude. It's not good enough. You guys are like, oh, I want to be at the top of MLS. I want to be winning MLS championships. You're not going to be doing it with a Chris Mueller. And you want to know how I know that? Is because of all the teams that have gotten rid of him have gone on to much better success. Because they are a higher level team than the Chicago Fire. Chicago Fire, they're a 9th, 7th, 8th place team in MLS. Inter Miami? They're a first place team.
Listen,
we don't
Chris
have enough
Mueller
room for
being
Chris
your
Mueller.
fourth wing option, you're a good MLS team.
He wasn't good enough
Yeah.
for Orlando. Orlando!
Like Toke
They
said.
sold for a
Wake
bunch
up!
of
Like
money
Toke said.
hold on, Orlando sold him for a bunch of money to not Hibs or Hearts or Herberdine or whatever the hell
Yeah,
over there in Scotland.
Yeah.
Wait, so he went over to. There's not even a year gap between Orlando and Chicago, but he did go to Hearts. I do remember that, and he failed
I think
spectacularly.
he went for like 6 months.
Yeah, he failed
went for, like, 6 months.
spectacularly. I'm sorry. He's right now. He's peaked. His peak. You want to know when Chris Mueller's peak was? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
It's conversations like this that I am very hesitant to take.
5.
Because like we're downplaying him, and then what if another team signs him next year and he has a career year?
Won't happen.
Well, that's the thing.
Happen.
Like, well, you need
guarantee it.
You need to replace him with another guy who doesn't take up an international spot.
You're right.
Okay.
You point out that his American spot is.
If you're gonna,
yeah,
we've gotten extremely lucky with the kids. So, is that going to continue to happen, or did we get really lucky with this crowd?
Good point.
So then, like I said, if Chris Mueller is your fourth wing option as an MLS team, you are a very good MLS team, or at least on offense.
Can I tell you a story about Chris Mueller? Do you know how many assists he has? Lifetime, career.
Not a lot by the looks of it.
Looks like 3.
Yeah.
He has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 years. He has 3 assists. They all came last year.
Look at his passing percentage. Though.
His peak is over, guys. Like, but as far as like a serviceable MLS veteran, maybe it's doable. But this is starting to sound like Michael Harrington all over again to me. No,
Michael. No, you open that can of worms.
Listen
bro.
to me. This is starting to sound like Michael Harrington all over again, where it's like, oh, we're entering a new era of the league. We're MLS 4.0. We're MLS 5.0. But Michael Harrington, he's MLS 2.0. He's MLS 1.0. Guess what? Chris Mueller is MLS 2 points ago. Like a point ago. Like, it'd be different if he was producing. It'd be different if there was consistency. It'd be different if he was showing up on the score sheet in 2025. But it's not. We are a system and a league of you got to be producing, because if you're not, we're not making the championship, and then it doesn't fucking matter.
I take 4 and 2.
You at the beginning of this year said this year is not going to matter if the Fire don't make the playoffs. You said at the beginning of this year.
But like
Chris Mueller staying on this team means this team is an 11th or 12th or of 9th place fodder, because Chris Mueller is the type of player that is on a lower end of the league team. I'm sorry. You can find a better American to come in. Yes, he's local. That's amazing. I love that he's local, but you can find a better player in MLS that's American.
You think you can find a better wing player, U.S. like green card?
Let's find it.
No, we're not. Listen. I want to finish this show on a high note.